From the KDLM studios in Detroit Lakes, it's Hodge Podge with Carol McCarthy, presented by Partnership for Health, and now airing on TV3.
Today on Hodge Podge, I've got a couple of guests joining me in the studio. A little bit later, we'll be talking to Erika Gilsdorf about the What Fuels You series that has now been released, her latest venture and adventures with Erika in the studio. Second half of Hodge Podge. And first up, from Pheasants Forever, we've got Dave Blumseth, and he is here to talk about an upcoming banquet for the organization. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Carol.
Well, this is happening now next week, a week from today.
A week from today. Yep,
Okay.
Next Friday night.
All right, and tell us a little bit about Pheasants Forever, the chapter here in Detroit Lakes.
Okay, Pheasants Forever here. We're called the Pine to Prairie Pheasants Forever chapter. We represent Becker County and Monoman County as well. Started in Becker County probably about 8-9 years ago. And then the chapter was kind of running out of members, so it wasn't real active for a few years. A group of people and myself from over in the Lake Park Cormorant area started this back up 3 years ago. And so we activated the chapter, and this is going to be our third banquet that we've had since we reactivated the Pine to Prairie chapter.
Okay, great. So this is happening at Holiday Inn next week.
Yes, next Friday night at the Holiday Inn. It starts at 5:30 for social, serving a meal at 6:30. I believe it's a pork loin, stuffed pork loin with potatoes, gravy, nice buffet meal.
Okay, very good. And the proceeds obviously go to your organization. What are some of the things that you use the funding for?
So kind of three key focuses we utilize the money. The nice part about Pheasants Forever is all the money we raise stays local. So when you buy a ticket, part of the ticket fee goes to a Pheasants Forever national membership. But beyond that, all the money stays local. And we use that money. We partner with other organizations, National Pheasants Forever, Soil and Water, different groups to help purchase habitat land and it's not just pheasants, it works for all wildlife, deer, songbirds, quail. I mean, it fits it all. Our next big focus is youth. We support, along with the Sportsman's Club out of the Lake Park area. We've sponsored youth pheasant hunts. We partner with them on some plots for wildlife, and then the other is just awareness of wildlife is kind of the third focus we spend the money on. So.
Okay, great. So tickets are, how do people get their hands on tickets and how much do they cost?
All right, so there's a couple different tickets you can get. Regular banquet ticket is $50, and that comes with your Pheasants Forever membership, which is a $35 membership.
Okay.
The rest basically covers the meal. Then if you want to bring a guest or a spouse, that is $25, and then the youth ticket is $15, and that youth ticket basically buys the Youth Pheasant Forever membership. We cover the rest of the cost as our chapter. So that's one option for tickets. The other option, if you're a corporate sponsor or you have a group of friends that want to get together, you can buy a table.
Okay.
Cost of the table is $800. We have a list of guns and other items, a crossbow that you can choose to put on your table.
Okay.
And with that, then you give that item away at your table, plus you get $160 worth of general raffle tickets as well.
Okay.
So we generally have a dozen or so people that buy tables. It's a nice way to get a group of people together, a group of friends to spend an evening. So.
Right. Okay. All right. So does your tickets that you purchase for the dinner and for the membership, is that also a raffle ticket, or do you have to buy those separately?
Well, there's both.
Okay.
So the ticket for the banquet, also then we do a raffle off that for a gun and a couple other items. And then we have several other raffles. So there's general raffle prizes, and there's a few guns in there as well. And then we have about 8 other games that have prizes that vary. One item we're giving away is an electric chainsaw, some guns. We have a really unique item this year. Actually, we had one last year, too. We're fortunate. We have a knife maker from the area. Some are maybe familiar. His name's Russ Comer. And he made knives for Browning for like 30 years. He's retired, and he's been generous enough to make us a one-of-a-kind knife that we'll be raffling off at the banquet. Okay. It actually has a giraffe bone handle, so it's not something you can just buy anywhere.
Right.
So if there's knife enthusiasts, this is something you can't find anywhere else. And last year was a very popular item for us at the banquet.
Okay, very cool. So what times do things start on Friday next week?
So, like I said, 5:30 is when the social starts, and that'll run till about 6:30. Then we'll start feeding the meal. Like I say, it'll be a buffet style. I believe it's a sit-down salad, and then it's buffet to pick up the rest of the food. And then about 7:15 or so, we will actually kick off the main part of the program, where we will start the drawings. Matt Christensen from Pheasants Forever will be there. He will be our MC, kind of leading the way and explain a little more about, what Pheasants Forever is about. But then we'll start the drawings, different raffles, and the different parts of the program. There will be a live auction. Bachman Auction is doing a live auction for us. We'll have about 10 items on that and silent auction items as well. So.
Okay, sounds like a fine evening next Friday. So get your tickets now.
Get your tickets now, or they are available at the door as well.
Okay.
And if you're interested in tickets, you can call me. We have posters up around town, but my phone number is 218-849-0278. If I don't answer, leave a message. It is my work phone, so it will mention who I work for, but don't worry about that. Just leave a message, and I'll get back to you and arrange to get you tickets if you're interested in attending our banquets.
All right, Dave Lumseth with the Pheasants Forever, a banquet and raffle next week, Friday, February 21st, right here in Detroit Lakes at Holiday Inn. Dave, thanks for all the information.
You bet. Thank you, Carol, for having me on.
You bet. And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, Erika Gilsdorf from What Fuels You Road Series, the road trip series, coming up next on Hodge Podge.
Now, back to Hodge Podge with Carol McCarthy on KDLM Detroit Lakes.
My next guest on Hodge Podge, Erika Gilsdorf. She was with LB Video here in Detroit Lakes, our sister company, and she is here to tell us about a new series that you've got going on. Good morning, Erika.
Good morning, Carol, and happy Valentine's to everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's great. The sun is shining. I haven't heard of any birds singing yet today, but
hey, I have a bunch of cardinals at my little feeder, so that's always a good thing.
Well, yeah, and they're red. They're donning the red for Valentine's Day.
Yes,
So very good. All right, well, tell us about this new series you've got going on and how it came about. What it's all about.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's finally getting some traction. So it's called What Fuels You, an Electric Road Trip. And it was inspired when we went to when I went to film for TV3 an EV showcase that Isaac Walton and Polly and Mark Anderson were putting on. And realized that there aren't charging stations in Detroit Lakes. There are coming, though.
Yes.
And that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But people in rural don't usually have opportunity to have electric vehicles. So we started off with a video series to talk about electric transportation, what that means. And then it grew into, I wanted to tell more stories of what people are doing. Climate change is a topic that a lot of people don't talk about, and it's very touchy, and it can have all these different barriers around it. And I really just wanted to have a series that talked about what people are doing good for the planet, addressing climate change, but also addressing farming and solar and things in their bar and in their coffee. And so we went around Minnesota and told really fun stories. Like they're fun, they're funny, and light and humorous, but yet inspiring people. And it was so much fun. It was really fun.
So give us a little inkling of this is a series that's now out there, and where can people, number one, see the series?
Right. So it's a social media campaign, not a campaign, just project. And so we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. All of it is at What Fuels You USA. And you can see all the videos. We're still uploading some. We have like a total of 40 videos.
Wow.
Yeah. And some are short, some are long, some are scripted, some are just a quick little things, but they're super fun. We went to, like, an idea of some. We went to Canal Park Brewery, learned about that they have a little sunshine in each of their beer. We went to a locally laid, it's a chicken farm up north. I mean, we just had fun. Went to Peace Coffee, learned about what they're doing with their coffee, and just the cool people in their own lives and what they can do, doing something different, and it's just inspiring. It's fun.
So do these places that you visit have kind of an element of saving the planet, or an element like, are they solar powered, or how does this fit into, you take an electric vehicle to all these places, and you're kind of tying that element in, and do the places have some kind of element of an earth-friendly business or earth-friendly things?
All of our stories have to have an earth-friendly component. They have to be doing something for the planet. We have stories on regenerative ag. Planet and animals, like our locally laid story is really fun. And it's just about doing pasture eggs, chickens that are out to pasture, and the difference between when you buy an egg that is in a cage egg, a chicken in a cage, or pasture, and what that means to the land and the local economy, because he buys from local people. And so what he's doing for the earth, but also for wildlife, farm animals, I guess. I don't know if you call them wildlife, but in the video they get pretty wild.
All right. Erika Gilsdorf is here. She is part of the What Fuels You series. That is a social media series, and you can find it on any of the social media YouTube channel. So you went around the state in an electric vehicle. And so who are some of the people that you met? You're talking about the animals, but you interviewed some somewhat famous people too.
Yeah. I just loved talking with Paul Douglas. So we went down to his studio. He's the meteorologist with WCCO Radio. Lee, the owner of Peace Coffee, the owners of Canal Park Brewery, Minnesota Power, some farmers at Stony Creek Farm. It was just really inspiring people. So the thing we wanted to do was, I don't know, but for me, I get kind of down sometimes with the state of the planet and what we can do. And we wanted to just really inspire people that they can do things in their own scope of influence, in their own backyard, and that all these actions make a difference. And that by seeing what other people are doing, we can feel inspired instead of like, oh my gosh, we're all going down the tank and there's only bad in the world. There's like a tremendous amount of good, and we just want to inspire that. Okay.
So what was one of the funniest stories that you can share on the air?
Yeah. One of the funnest was this one little farm we did, locally laid. I mean, we were out with the chickens, and when you see them get released into pasture, I mean, the music selection for the video, to me, it makes me and Raina just laugh, because they just come piling out, and they were pecking at us and the camera, and it was just funny. And then we went out and filmed with Nature Conservancy, and Raina was filming him and backed up into a mud puddle, and we were sitting here laughing on camera, and we got lost, and Raina's crabby with me, so we'll have to post that video. Okay. So a little bit of road trip, a little bit of, we met a donkey.
So just passing by. So tell us a little bit about the vehicle. So what kind of vehicle was it? Was it the same vehicle you rode around in?
Right. Yeah. GS Motors gave us a vehicle, a Chevy Bolt. I always get confused. I'm terrible. The Bolt is, one of them's a hybrid and one's 100% electric. And I should know that because we actually have a video on that, but I always forget. We went on a 100% electric vehicle. So it was really good because we had to find out where you could charge. And Mark Anderson would map that out. And there's apps. It's so easy. It's amazing. And what was fun about it is traveling is different by electric vehicle. Like all of a sudden you're not stopping up at a gas station to get gas. You're stopping at outside a restaurant, and we went and had pie while our car charged. We met this cute little pie at Moose Lake, this cute little restaurant. The pie was amazing at Moose Lake. And so it's just a different way of traveling. And it was funny driving by gas stations and like, oh, we're not going in there. And then finding these charging stations that are on your app, and you show up and you plug in, and we went and had coffee. We went and had a beer.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
So were the charging stations at a business, or were they just kind of out somewhere where you had access to like a downtown area? I know like Detroit Lakes are going to have it kind of in the downtown area. but not
Yeah.
necessarily at a gas station.
Right. They're all over. So the ones we went to weren't at a gas station. They're popping up everywhere. Minnesota Department of Transportation is also one of our sponsors, and they have a corridor going up 94. The ones that we had were outside of like in an area where you could walk to a restaurant, like I'm talking like across the street, to a restaurant or to a bar, or in close to town. Canal in Duluth, it's right down on Canal Park, so you're right there and you just walk down, and we stopped at Canal Park Brewery. One was a little further out, like there's fast chargers where you can charge really fast, and then there's level 2s, and those level 2 is a slower charger one. And that's where we would park. Like we went to the Jackpot Casino and charged overnight and had fun in their casino and had dinner. And in the morning, you just get up and you go, and your car is charged. It's so cool.
Did you stay at any homes that you can recharge a vehicle? Are there special? I mean, do you kind of go into the charging units too?
No, the charging unit is like it's such an interesting thing that we're at the curve of time, aren't we? That none of us, like, I didn't know what they look like. And pretty soon, within like 6 months, it'll be so common that it'll be like, that's what you do, you charge. But right now it's like, what does it even look like?
Right.
It's like this, it's like a gas pump sitting in the middle of, behind a corner of like a grocery store or next to a parking lot. And it has, like the ones we went to are solar powered, so it's a big solar panel one. Like when you go, when you're driving to the cities and you go into, I think it's Motley, and you're driving along, you're like, oh, there's a charging station. It's like two little stations. You pull up, and you might see two little cars parked there. Okay. But yeah, it's not like a thing you drive into. You just pull up, take it out, and that's why it's fun to watch the videos, because you can see at state parks.
Right.
We went to state parks too. That was a big one.
And what is the app called that you can find?
There's all these different. There's different kinds. There's ChargePoint is the one that he used a lot because that's popular here. But there's different apps and different cards that you buy. But what they're coming out with now is an overall app, because that sounds overwhelming to some people. It's not, because you literally click on it, like ChargePoint, and it bling ding ding shows all the charge stations that are around, and then it shows if they're being active, how much time a person might have as a charge, that kind of thing.
Okay. So, well, it sounds very interesting, and I'm excited to see more of the What Fuels You series, video series, social media series. And Erika Gilsdorf is one of the producers of the video, and along with Raina Zima, went on a road trip, and the whole goal is to go around Minnesota and find more opportunities and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we really are encouraging people to go and find us at What Fuels You USA, and share and like the page, because this is a project spurred in Detroit Lakes, and we want to continue it and also go to other states to really showcase. So if you can, go to at What Fuels You USA, like, share, comment, and help us get more reach so that we can continue the series.
All right. Erika Gilsdorf, thank you so much for all the information.
Yeah, thank you, and happy Valentine's Day.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
And that is going